Alright guys, we're back on Revontuli Coast to keep searching for all the different rares we need to find, as well as for all the diamonds we are yet to get with the Recurve. So in order to hopefully increase our chances to come across one of those trophies, today we'll be doing some server hopping where we may stumble onto some interesting stuff like this max estimate Hazel Grouse track. We've been finding quite a few of these tracks recently, which is quite surprising because the max estimate hazel grouses are not too common. They are actually quite hard to come by, and of course the same applies for the diamonds, which are perhaps the rarest diamond on this map. I mean, you could maybe argue that the mountain hare is a bit more rare, but the thing is that they are both up there. So we definitely gotta try to find this guy, especially because the diamond hazel grouse is one of the few diamonds I still haven't gotten with the Recurve, and my only concern is that there is a bug that tends to affect the species that essentially causes all the tracks to disappear. You know, it doesn't always happen, but when it happens it's incredibly annoying, because how are we supposed to find the hazel grouse without a single track? It certainly makes it significantly more complicated, so the only thing I hope is that that doesn't happen this time. And well, I hate to say it, but I've been really looking around this area and I still haven't been able to find the next track. So I really fear the luck is not in our side this time, and the bug I just mentioned is happening right now. We are certainly in trouble if that is the case, because I have no idea of on which direction this guy is heading, and I guess the best we can do is to chase this other track, which is from a female, because there's the possibility that she's her partner and maybe they start flying on the same direction. I mean, it is unlikely, but we cannot rule out that option. Alright, she is apparently down there. So if the big male was actually with her, he should also be here. That's the female. And unfortunately, there are no signs of the big one. He is definitely not here. Which means that our only option is to go back to the area where we found the zone initially. We found the zone right here, and we gotta do our best to find the track again, because if we cannot, then we're gonna lose this trophy forever. You know, maybe he's not even huge, but I would still hate to lose the chance to know exactly how big it is. And fortunately, after searching for more than 10 minutes, we finally managed to find the trail again. It seems he decided to return to the zone because these tracks are very recent, and now it shouldn't take us too long to finally get to know if he's a level 3 or not. Alright, that may be him. As well as this one, which in fact has a massive estimate up to 446. He was a level 2, but the estimate was really promising. I certainly won't get my hopes up too much because the level 2 diamond hazel grouse are very rare, but without any doubt that estimate gives us some good reasons to be optimistic. Let's see how big it is. 426.59. He's actually not too big. I mean, he has a decent score, but he's not huge. And with this one, I honestly don't know how many max estimates of these guys we have gotten since we got our last diamond, so we gotta keep looking because we may not be too far from finding another level 3. Look at that, that's a big ptarmigan. Top estimate of 713, he's definitely a max estimate. And maybe a diamond. And there are actually more over there, it seems to be a big flock. No idea of exactly where they are, but anyway, let's claim this guy, which I imagine was the biggest one. You know, he actually caught me completely by surprise. I wasn't ready to start recording and I wasn't expecting to see a max estimate here, so this clip will definitely be a lot quicker than I would have liked, because I usually like to give some context to each of the kills, but this time there was no time to prepare for anything because he landed right next to me. And actually he is not that big, 670.77, he's a medium-sized gold. I'm certainly not impressed by this score, but it's not like I was expecting something bigger. I mean, to be honest, the estimate was not that promising. You know, it's not like the estimate always matters, but it's true that the higher the estimate, the higher the chance of the animal being big. Of course, there are many exceptions, and a huge estimate is far from being a guarantee of a huge score, but it's generally true. Alright guys, we're still on the same server. Actually, this is just a couple minutes after I got the ptarmigan right here. And the time just got reset. At actually the worst possible time, because I was about to show you a track right here which was a max estimate mountain hare track, but as you can see it just vanished. That's very unfortunate, and it's actually something that tends to happen often on multiplayer. You know, sometimes you are tracking an animal and then the time gets reset and the whole trail disappears. So in these kind of situations, the only thing you can do is to just run around the area where you found the track initially and try to find it again. Now this seems to be the track of a hare, and it's the big one. Finally. Luckily, it didn't take too long, we only spent like 5 minutes exploring the area and fortunately we managed to find it again. Now let's go see how big is this hare. Okay, there's a capercaillie, level 2. Maybe a potential diamond. We only hit him once, but we can actually hit him a second time there. And I'ma claim it. 4.41, he is nothing special. Now talking about the best strategy to chase the mountain hare is actually very simple, because currently there's a bug that affects all the rabbits and hares, which essentially causes them to start walking when they should be fleeing. I think it's a very annoying bug because of course there's no sport in tracking rabbits now, since it's incredibly easy to approach them, and it completely ruins the experience of hunting these guys in my opinion. I mean, look at that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh! No way. She's a level 3. Level 3 mountain hare. And she simply doesn't run. Like, I honestly don't feel great about killing her this way, but I need to get one with a recurve. I actually love the model of these guys, I think they look amazing. Maybe a bit more fur would make them look slightly better, but in general I think it's a very good model. And she's a diamond, 5.73. She's my second ever diamond mountain hare and my first one with a recurve, so I'm certainly really happy about getting this guy, and I'm honestly relieved to get one before Emerald Coast. You know, my goal is to complete my recurve diamond collection before the new map comes out, and getting what is arguably one of the rarest diamonds of all the remaining species is just fantastic. Very nice trophy. Alright guys, I just came across another big track, this time from a max estimate hazel grouse right on this area, and I don't know why, but I feel this one will lead us to a diamond. I mean, the odds are certainly not great, but considering that we've been finding so many max estimates recently, I think it's just a matter of time to find another diamond hazel grouse. Now fingers crossed the tracks stay consistent and they don't disappear, because we know very well how problematic it can be when that happens. Luckily I've been chasing this guy for more than 5 minutes, and for the moment the trail has stayed consistent. I really haven't had any issue to find the next tracks, so I think it's safe to say that on this occasion that annoying bug won't give us any trouble. Alright. I think there's one flying towards us. Right there. Level 2, but it's not a big one because the top estimate was not big enough. So I'ma claim it, just a silver. And apparently there are more things coming in. It's certainly interesting to suddenly see so many birds flying this way. I guess there's a lynx nearby. And there's a grouse. She's a female. Plus another one over there, which I didn't get to hit nor to spot. I will do it in a moment. And she's just another hen. So I guess the chase will have to continue because the big one doesn't seem to be any of the birds flying on this direction, and we're just losing our time here. We gotta go find it. Now I gotta say that this chase took way longer than it should. As you can see, the trail is a complete mess. This guy's been doing some crazy zigzag, and I actually spent like 20 minutes following this trail until I reached this point where I simply wasn't able to find the next track. And here's the reason why. He got frozen. You know, there's a bug that can affect some of the upland bear species where the animal gets completely frozen on a certain location without doing like literally any sound or movement. And as far as I'm concerned, the only way to get the animal to move again is to go out of render and come back. So we could definitely try that to get this guy flying again, but honestly, since he's just level 2 and he doesn't have a high chance to make it, I'm just gonna shoot him right here. .423.41, he's not massive. Certainly not the best way to conclude this chase.